Hi, and welcome along to the Invincible podcast. We got the guys back in the studio today. Lee Judges is here, and of course, Julian Becker, as he likes to be known now. He likes to get the Becker in. And this video is brought to you today by NordVPN. You wouldn't leave Arsenal's defence wide open, so why would you risk having poachers steal your data on public Wi-Fi? With NordVPN, you're protected, whether you're at the Emirates, out at a cafe, or in another country. Right now, Nord's offering AFTV viewers 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. Just head over to nordvpn.com/AFTV or click the link below. Do not risk it. Secure your connection today with nordvpn.com. By the way, it's risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so be sure to click nordvpn.com/AFTV to get 4 extra months on a 2-year plan. Big up to NordVPN, an essential tool, as I said. Guys, welcome along to the studio. International break. I know you're all excited about it. When are they going to get rid of this?
No, I'm pleased with it this time. I'm pleased with it.
Did you see what Harry Kane was saying yesterday? He's moaning about players withdrawing. I'm sure he's withdrawn a few times.
Well, if you're injured, you're injured.
Yeah.
No, but
that's what he's going on about. None of the players, hardly any of them players are injured.
I'm not being horrible. Jack Grealish hasn't played for I don't know how long. So Trent come off, Saka come off, Rice came off.
They're injured.
Palmer was struggling. You could see that all week. He was a doubt. So I don't know about Foden.
Played though, didn't he? Palmer.
He played, yeah, but he didn't look right, did he?
Played the old 90.
Yeah, but I think that they patched him up to get him that game. I'm not being horrible. It's all right getting patched up for your club because they're paying you money. But why should we be getting patched up for England
I think that the clubs, right, and the players have just looked on it and said these are just little meaningless games. We can't be asked, right? And if you've got a slight injury, don't play. If these were serious games with a lot on it, I think most of those players.
I don't think Declan Rice would have gone.
Would be there.
Declan Rice
maybe
not have injections to get through.
Maybe not Declan Rice,
also
but
the injection wore off.
Yeah, and that's
in the
why
last 20-25 minutes. So you can't play for England if you've got a broken toe. Obviously, you can play for Arsenal.
Yeah, I think some of these. I do think though some of them have been a bit strategic, and I don't blame the clubs. There's too many 3 international breaks. You get started, you stop, you start, you stop. It's ridiculous. They're going to kill these players. There's too many games. Let them. The players should be able to, a couple of international breaks, and you play right through up until Christmas, and then maybe get a little break or something. But
they haven't even got this
ridiculous.
This year. Last
they haven't get the break this year.
No, there's no break, which was a good thing. Do you know what? I thought it really worked well last year.
Yeah.
You didn't have no Premier League break because one lot of teams were playing, and then the following week it really worked. And they've abandoned it this year with more games. There's more games than there was last season because of last season. If you think about it, they had the break, but there weren't the more games in Europe. You know what I mean? So they've chucked more games on us, and they're not giving the players a break. So when are they going to have a break?
No, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, that's what the players are deciding to have their own breaks. By not going
on strike.
And I hope that message is getting through to when they see these meaningless games, because who cares? But guys, before we get stuck into what the sort of main thing of the show is today, which is, there's been a lot of doom and gloom. You'd have thought Arsenal in a relegation battle, the way the doom and gloom is going around. What I want to do is take a look at our run now, from now till Christmas, or till the end of the year, in comparison to the other teams in the top 4, right? So we're going to do that. Before we get stuck into that, I've got to ask you about the stuff that's come out about David Coote, the referee, right? The latest one, right? I mean, going back to the first one that come out, him having a go at Klopp, calling him a C word and stuff like that. That was bad enough. But you looked on it, you thought, all right, he's been suspended. It's an old video from 2020. It's bad. Full investigation's going to go on. I remember saying to my brother, I go, you know what? There's more. More's going to come, because when these videos get leaked, for someone to be stupid enough to film that, and that comes out, he's probably filmed other stuff that's going to come out. Then yesterday, we see the one of him snorting white powder, right? Now, as far as I know, people don't snort, washing up powder. They don't snort up sugar. They don't snort up salt. we know what it is, or we probably know what it is, right? That's what he sent that video to someone, by the way. That was after a game this year, after the Euros game between Germany and Spain, which had a controversial incident in it, which he was on the VAR, right? This is incredible, isn't it? I mean, he's been suspended now by UEFA. This is incredible to see a ref. I mean, the PGMOL are in crisis now, as far as I'm concerned. It's already been all season. People have been moaning about decisions. There's been people talking about conspiracy theories. When you see this sort of stuff, maybe those people who are talking about conspiracy theories, they got a point.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a conspiracy theory, but what it shows, I mean, the first thing, I've seen the first video, and I thought it was the funniest thing since the Cantona Kung Fu kick into the crowd. It just made me laugh. It actually made me think these guys are human, but it showed an absolute lack of judgment. You know, for someone, in effect, in the public eye that has a responsible job like that, how on earth can you, number one, you know, say those things in public, but number two, allow yourself to be filmed doing that? Because the reality is, and we've been told this a number of times, the moment you say something on camera, expect that to be shown and be shared in other places.
Was it even a secret camera?
No.
He's saying it into the camera. If it was a secret
she says don't send it or something.
Yeah, and it's something that we've had reinforced it into us since we've been on AFTV, that when the camera's rolling, whatever you say will be shared or can be shared. So you don't say things on camera that you wouldn't want shared, and it shows a complete lack of judgment. And you've got to question, if he's got that kind of lack of judgment when it comes to those circumstances, then what kind of judgment has he got when he's refereeing a game? Because it's still judgment, isn't it? And you have to interpret situations and be aware of your surroundings, which obviously he's not.
And then look at the one yesterday. I mean,
that takes it to a different level, doesn't it?
And that's the day after he's been in the VAR of a massive game, Spain versus Germany. And he sent that to somebody as well.
Oh, that's incredible.
He sent that. Yeah. No one didn't even film it. He's filmed that and sent it to someone. And I'm telling you, I feel there's more coming.
Well, it probably is. And, like, you know, they've shown one of them all with the Thai girls as well, aren't they? All the referees sitting around the table now, they're just having dinner, but you don't know what's going on there. Like, you know, it's
the credibility's gone, isn't it?
Credibility's gone. But listen, I think in a way it's a good thing. And I don't mean not on him, but, like, listen, it shows you that they're human and that they have a bias. This rules, you know what I mean? Like, and I believe that those referees, what happened with Mikel Arteta at Newcastle last year, and it coming out and slagging them all off and getting away with it, they've turned around and said, like, right, we'll have you. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
And that's what they've done. And I because they're human. They, you know, he basically has said,
doesn't like Klopp.
Klopp has said
doesn't
something.
Like Liverpool.
Klopp said something to him and doesn't like Liverpool. So there could be a fit. Now, I believe that he was the referee or something to do with, you know, when Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, no, he was. He was the referee with handball
on the thing, like, you know. We got away with one on that day, but you think, like, he might be actually saying this, like, I don't like you lot. So now you know that Saturday, it does happen.
He was refereeing that game. Salah got brought down. He waved it on as to say, get up.
Yeah,
he did go on and score. Nunes went on and scored. That was him as well.
So right? You have to turn around and say that there's something in it. Now, I think he was. Sorry, Lee. I think he was also the referee when Pickford fouled, Van Dijk. When Van Dijk was out for all that time, he didn't do anything. Yeah, that was him as well. So it just shows you, it's not just Liverpool. I know, like, Liverpool have been highlighted here, you know. I mean, I don't like Liverpool fans going, "Oh, we've had a bit." This is what it's telling you is that every single referee, if you upset one of them, human nature is that they're not going to give you feet, and that is definitely what happens.
I said what you said. Like I said to you, I think I said it. It was on another show. I said it. I heard, which I can't repeat, from a good source, that the referees last year, what you just said there, were absolutely fuming at Arteta.
Yeah, so
and wanted him sanctioned.
Yeah.
Right? And were really angry when he got off with that, you know, when he said about disgracia and all that, and he managed to swerve that, right? And you look at decisions, right, this season. Who else has had anyone sent off for the kicking the ball away thing? How many other teams? Look how lenient they've got on it now in recent games.
Yeah.
They obviously sort of, right? You really got, and Julian, to me, I don't really find that funny what I saw there, right? Because number one is he's been very xenophobic. Why did he call him a German, C-U-N-T? So again...
Well, he is German.
Yeah, he's German.
He's German, all right. Well, if it's a black guy, he'd probably be calling him a black, C-O-N-T. That's how I look on it. I don't like those things when I see that, right? I'm like, there's that for starters. Why did you have to highlight that? Number two, right? You look at that, you look at the snorting thing, and you think to yourself, what if somebody's got hold of that and they're saying to, all right, let's just say...
Could be blackmail.
Yeah, it could be blackmail.
Let's just say an Everton fan's got hold of that and says, hey, see the next game, Liverpool, yeah? Right?
100%.
You give a penalty. If not,
this is coming out.
This is coming out, mate. He's been compromised.
He has been compromised.
To send those videos out, it's crazy, right? So, to me, now, there's so many questions to be asked. Referees, are they drug tested?
Well, they're going to have to be now.
Yeah.
I mean, how many games has he been refereeing when he's been high?
And the other thing is that what you have to say to it now, when you're refereeing, you got something, a little bit of I don't know, like a safety net. I didn't quite see that. I didn't see this or whatever. With VAR, it's there, and they're getting these things wrong on VAR, and we're clearly saying, well, that's the, and they might be thinking, I don't know, I better not give this, or I bet. The VAR has highlighted it, how bad that they are, but when you see things like this, I don't say they're corrupt, but there's a biasness towards it. There's got to be.
Well, there does have to be, but I think it reinforces two things. The first thing is they're human, but unless we go to AI technology, which may well happen at some point in the future, it doesn't matter. Every referee is human, therefore every referee has a bias. Now, this particular referee seems to have an anti-Liverpool bias, but every referee will have some kind of bias. The second part is there's no coming back from this.
No.
With this particular referee.
Finished.
He's finished. He'd be finished in any job.
Done.
He'd be finished. It'd be absolutely done.
Like you said, Julian, his judgment to send... If those videos had been, secret filming, stuff like that, right? I think the first one he might have got away with, because you'd be saying, right, secret filming, referees are human. He's filming it.
He's even said, I don't want this.
Yeah.
I don't want this sent out.
So then, like you said, Julie, you called into question this guy's judgment, and then when those things get into people's hands now, and they're bribing him, blackmailing him, stuff like that. No, there's
the key to that,
honestly,
Robbie. The key to that is, right, if you think about it, is that his dislike was for Klopp, right? Klopp had pissed him off, right? So then he took it out on Liverpool. Not that he hated Liverpool, it was because of Klopp. Now, what I'm saying is...
He said that he liked Milner.
So, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, like, so basically, because of Klopp, he's taking it out on Liverpool. That means if someone doesn't like Arteta, they're taking it out on Arsenal. If you don't like Ange, they're taking it out on Tottenham. It is there in black and white. What we've been saying for years. Yeah. We've been saying it for years, but without real evidence.
The whole PGMOL is an
finished.
Absolute...
It's got to go and all. Webb's got to go.
It's in disarray.
It's on his watch. It's on his watch. You know what I mean? Doing drugs and things like that. Like you are in control of all of that. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
and
it's him that picks them.
Yeah, he's got to go and all, by the way. Yeah. I'll tell you what, he has got to go now.
I agree. Once the integrity of the referees is gone,
it's gone.
We're in trouble. Because the thing is, we watch games, there are bad decisions sometimes, but we just say to ourselves, well, listen, it's a human.
But they're all on
drugs.
Makes
mistake. Not all on. Well, you don't know.
You don't know. You can't. You know what I mean?
Those are the opinions of lead judges and lead judges only.
That's offside. You're on drugs, ref. Yes, I am. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Come on, like, you know. This is where it's all wrong now. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to have. You're right. We're saying they're going to have to be drug tested every single time now. Like, you know, I'm not being able. Train drivers and we know that aeroplane. They have to be done and everything. Like aeroplane pilots. They have to be tested all the time, like, you know what I mean? So they're going to have that. They're going to have to sack our Webb and get somebody in differently, because if I'm being really honest,
it's a mess.
Even
before this,
but they're also going to have to diversify a little bit, because what you've got is the majority of the referees, not only from all the same classes, but you from one area of England, which is the Northwest. Because, I mean, I started doing research before the games on the referees to see if they've got any biases, and so many were coming from that area, all up north. Even, not even the northeast, northwest.
Not being horrible, there's about, I don't know if you've seen the picture of them all out, there's about 6 of them all round a table with, I think some got blackmail them and turn around and say, we know
what are they around the table doing?
Like with a load of Thai girls, you know.
Yeah. Your integrity.
So basically, they could be saying like, I don't know what they done afterwards, but mate, say if they went up to a hotel and someone could be videoing that and going, right, I'll tell you what, Oliver, you better send off Declan Rice this week, otherwise, make sure, otherwise this is coming out to you. I'm not saying it is, but it leads potentially to all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Which, once, as I said, once the integrity is like, there's certain jobs where integrity is everything. A judge, people like that, solicitors, integrity is everything in those jobs. And once that's gone, you then open, you think, is this what's going on here? And this is a real crisis. But listen, let's get into what we want to talk about today, because there has been like some meltdowns going on. I was even at an event yesterday, and I said to this guy, asked me, he said to me, he goes, is the league over for Arsenal? And I said, no, I don't think it is. It's still too early. And he goes, oh, Robbie, man, I'll tell you what, man, I think, the club have got to you or something like that.
I've had that.
I've had that.
I go, bro. I said to him, there are 27 games left. We played 11 games. Even if you look at the league at the moment, apart from Liverpool, who are kind of running away with it, all the teams are on very level amount of points. I said to him, it's too early to say. Liverpool were ahead last season. They were ahead with a good distance and they didn't win it. So I'm like, I said, listen, it's hard from now, but I'm not giving up on it. Now, what I wanted to look at is the games that we've got coming out. And I know you've done some even deep diving into it, Julian.
Mate, seen him for 3 days.
I've been busy.
So I want to compare our games, but I think one thing that is, what I was explaining to this guy, and even he had to admit it in the end, is that if you look at our start of this season in comparison to, say, the other teams in the top 4, I think Chelsea have had quite a tough one as well, but we've had a lot of really tough games. We've had to go away to Villa, where we lost last year, by the way. Away to Newcastle, lost there last year. We've had to go away to Man City, right? We've had to go away to Spurs. And we've also had to go away to Chelsea.
Yeah.
In our first 11 games. Those are 5. If at the start of the season,
6,
I came to either of you and I said, give me your 10 hardest away games. Those 5 are in it.
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
6 out of 5 5 out of the 6 away games. That's what we've had. We had 6 away games. 5. That's the 5. The other one's Bournemouth, which is not easy.
Yeah. I mean, I think you've covered a lot of what I wanted to cover, but I'd like to go into the numbers exactly, the bit more depth than you've gone into. So the first thing you said was we've played 11 games.
Yeah,
that's 26.32% of the season. So we're hardly any further into the season. But the second part of that is we have 81 points, 27 games left. You still have. The numbers are importantly. He always does this when he doesn't understand. So,
hear about.
So we have 81 points left to play for. We have 90 points at the moment. So we could get a maximum of 100 points. Okay, that's the maximum we could still get. However, it's popular belief at the moment when you do the maths that you could probably win the league with 90 points. Especially with the way the teams are going. So when people,
I think it's going to be lower than that.
I think it's going to be low as well. But if we take the estimate before the league started of 90 points, you're actually looking at the fact that people are saying you've got no wriggle room now. If you lose one more game, it's over. But you've still got wriggle room there. And again, one of the things you said was about the start of the season we've had. Now, if you compare that with the other 2 teams, we've had 6 away games. They've only had 5. But 5 of those 6 games, as you both pointed out, were against top 10 opposition from this season. So current form, five of those out of the 6 have been in the top half of the table. If you compare that to City, it's only 2. You compare that to Liverpool, it's just 1, which was against us.
Yeah,
and they've only had 5 away games.
Yeah, and also, you know, as I said to that guy yesterday, I go, we've lost 2 games. City have lost 2 games. Liverpool have lost 1 game, right? So I'm like, it's not like we've been losing game after game. And I said to him, I go, when you talk about, he's going, yeah, but if you lose, I said, everybody only ever talks about losing games. They don't talk about drawing games, because if you draw 3 games, that's equivalent to 1 win. That's why you'll see a team like Manchester United, for instance, they're 4 points behind Arsenal, despite a terrible start where they've lost a lot of games, right? But they haven't really drawn games. They've either lost or won, right? So it's quite easy for teams to go on a run, right, and win games, and all of a sudden you're in a completely different situation to what other teams are. So Liverpool, and when you're equating those starts, this is why it's really important, because Liverpool have had games that, on paper, when you look at them, you say, yeah, if you're looking at the start of the season, say, yeah, they're supposed to win that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got them at home. Yeah, they're supposed to win that. They get wins for those games. They haven't had those other games where sometimes you look at it and say, ooh, Arsenal away, take a draw. Ooh, away at Chelsea, that's a difficult, man. They've only lost 1 game, Chelsea, at home this season. That was the first game of the season against City. Tough, man. They're playing all right at the moment. They're on form, you know. Villa away, that's a tough place to go to. They ain't really had it. So those games, you may not even lose them sometimes, but they can turn into draws.
Yeah.
City away. Did anybody at the start of the season say, all right, yeah, we're going to rock up at City and win that game? Yeah. We're hoping that, you know, we can get a win. Most, a lot of fans, you'll be driving up there. You know what you guys do. We drive up to games, we take a draw. Yeah. You know, but take a draw right now.
If you actually look at Liverpool specifically, if you look at the games Liverpool have played this season and compare them with the identical games that they've played last season, they've got exactly the same amount of points. It's just their run has come earlier in the season. The other thing that you mentioned, you're quite right with, is that Arsenal made up the points on Liverpool last season. The difference was, after 20 games, Arsenal were 5 points behind Liverpool. At the end of the season, we were 7 points ahead of them. So that's a 12-point swing. We're 9 points behind after only 11 games. So there is time to make it up. I'm not saying that with the current form we're in, we definitely will. Yeah. But if you look at the statistics, with the season's only really just begun.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem.
And people are writing it off so quickly.
I think that Arsenal have got to go on, and their next 10 games, I include Brighton and Tottenham in that, but because that's a 10-game batch, but we're taking it to 8. They've got to win every single one of them. Now,
do they? Every single one?
I think Arsenal have,
every single one?
Yeah, to close the gap and push in.
Every single one up to what point? The end of the year?
No, yeah, I think they've got to win up to like Ipswich game. Got to win every one.
Yeah, well,
I
don't think they do.
I don't think they do. It all depends, doesn't it?
I look at those games. It's no good saying, oh, we've had a tough run of fixtures, and then the next batch fit, we can do that. You've got to go and be on the mad. Listen, we've done that last season. Went on a madness last season after the game. I remember coming out of Fulham. Well, that's it. It's done. Unless you have a madness. Well, you ain't going to have a madness.
Everybody said it was done.
But we had a madness.
Not everyone, because Ty myself didn't say it was gone.
You know what I mean? But like that, no, and they was predicting the madness, and we did have a madness. Also, what was more surprising about it was we had no form going into that run, like, you know what I mean? So I do believe that this team is good enough to go on a 10, 12 game run, and it's got to.
Yeah, what I'd say though, Lee, when you say they have to win all 10 games, that's not strictly true, because it all depends on. It's like a couple of weeks ago we were saying, let's take Liverpool out for a second. A couple of weeks ago we say, Arsenal, when we lost that game against Bournemouth, I remember speaking to some fans out there going, it's done, man. Because can't beat Bournemouth, I think. You know, City will come here, but City came there and lost, right? It all depends. All of us, we're kind of in a more better position in a way because of what City has been doing. City have not been playing well.
Yeah, but it's no good if we lose, Robbie, and Liverpool lose.
I know that. I know that. But what I'm saying, you've got to make up ground. And in the ideal world, 10 wins, but 10 wins is a very difficult thing to do. It doesn't matter who you're playing in this Premier League, right?
You're still early enough in the season not to have to do
10
that
wins is
sort of run.
difficult to do for any team. I think any team goes on a 10-winning streak. Liverpool go on a 10-winning streak, they're going to probably win the league.
Yeah.
But it all depends what's going to happen. And also what I wanted to look at, right, is last season. Let's just look at our start last season. Because I think, how many more points were we better off at this stage? I think it was about 4 points.
4 or 5
better
points.
off. But this was our start to last season, right? First game, Nottingham Forest at home. Then we went to Crystal Palace away. Fulham at home. These are all games that on paper, and we drew with Fulham, remember? Like, these are all games on paper. Those first three, you'd be looking at and saying,
9 points. Should have had 9
supposed to win those games.
Cost us in the end.
Man United at home,
Yeah.
right? Which again, we've got a great record against them at home, not at Old Trafford, but at home, right? Everton away, right? Tottenham Hotspur at home,
True that one.
right? Bournemouth away.
And dropped a point away.
Then we went to October. We had Manchester City at home,
Beat them.
right? Chelsea away,
True.
right? Then we had Sheffield United at home,
5-0.
Right.
His last goals.
Yeah.
right?
Hat trick.
Newcastle away,
Lost.
Yeah.
right? And then taking us right up to where we would have been more or less now, Burnley at home. I think you look on that, right, and say that was
easier.
a much easier start
100%.
last season than this year. And those
and
are
we
the
didn't
sort
have
of
the
things, when
injuries and we didn't
I'm
have the
speaking
sending
like,
off.
for instance, to that guy yesterday, those are the things, a message I'm trying to get across to him, say, it's so early in the season, you do have to take things a bit into context. When you say, there's no, you know what? There'll be people watching this video and they'll go, look, Robbie's making excuses. I ain't making excuses.
No.
I'm just trying to put some realism on the thing. It's our hardest start. Where we really messed up, do you know where we really messed up this season so far?
Newcastle and Bournemouth, I think.
Not even the Newcastle game.
Brighton at home.
Bournemouth game. The Bournemouth game.
No, I think that's a tough away game.
The Bournemouth game, we won there 4-0 last year. We've got a good record at Bournemouth. I think that's where we... Because that was not just a bad defeat, it was a poor performance as well. The two things that have messed us up this season, that game, that result, and the games where we've gone down to 10 men. Those when you're in a sport like football with small margins, you cannot afford to have 3 games where you were playing those games with 10 men on the pitch. And we dropped points in every one of them. We dropped points against Bournemouth. We dropped points against City when we were winning 2-1. And we dropped points against Brighton when we were cruising that game. I know it was only 1-0. We were cruising that game. All of a sudden turned into a completely different game. So those are things we've got to address. Then you can, we don't want to use it as an excuse. But injuries do come into it. Last season, we was playing these games literally the same 11 every week. This season, we even heard news yesterday, Ben White now is out until, for the next 8 weeks. We won't see him till the new year. Tommy Asu's not even there to replace him. We've been missing Odegaard, just came back for his first game since August. These are factors. So that's when I'm just saying to people, slow down a bit. Let's see. I feel a better barometer will be at the end of the year. When we look at the end of the year, how close are we then? Because again, you don't have to be above Liverpool. City don't have to be above Liverpool. You could just be, you know what it's like, because we've had it. Teams could just be just breathing down your neck. They could just haul it back in a bit where they're 3 points behind you or 4 points behind. Then you go and draw a game and they win a game, then they're a point behind. It can be reeled in. You can't reel it in quickly when you start to get to the end of the season. But this early, I don't know what you guys think. I don't think it's over.
No, I'm still saying it now. If Arsenal don't win all of those games, they might challenge.
So you talk about up to the end of the year.
Yeah, I think if we like lose a couple and draw a couple and all that, I think we might challenge for it, but ultimately I don't think we're going and win it.
Yeah.
I think if we can get 7 wins out of 7, will put us in a position where we could go on and win it. There's a difference. Do we expect a title challenge? I still expect a title challenge.
It all depends what the opposition do, and that's what I've been looking into for the last few days.
You can't worry about opposition.
Yes, of course you can.
You cannot worry. If Arsenal go and lose to Nottingham Forest, you are. It doesn't matter to
you. If Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest, if Liverpool carry on winning every single one of their,
got to concentrate on ourselves.
If Liverpool win the rest of their games, then they win the league. So it doesn't matter what we do. So of course you have to worry about the opposition.
No, you have to,
especially if they're ahead of us.
You've got to get your form right and start playing well yourself.
We have to do both. But the opposition, we're in direct opposition with probably 3 other teams at the moment, which is Liverpool, Manchester City, and Chelsea. I would say.
All right, let me say the next.
I still think Aston Villa are still got to be in a shout.
Games up to Christmas, and all I've done is compared the top 4, because there are you are right. There's a lot of teams on similar points, but I thought I'd just compare the top 4's games. So these are Arsenal's games. Next 6 games in the Premier League, taking us up until Christmas, right? So got Nottingham Forest at home. Ordinarily, we'd be like, rubbing our hands saying they're playing well at the moment. They did lose to Newcastle in their last game, but it won't be an easy game. But Nottingham Forest at home, West Ham United away, Manchester United at home, Fulham away, Everton at home, Palace away, Ipswich at home. Those are our games coming up next 7 games, I think it is, right? Liverpool's next 7. They've got Southampton away, Manchester City at home, Newcastle away, Everton away, Merseyside derby, Fulham at home, and Spurs away. Quite a tough little run for them now.
Did you say Newcastle?
Yeah.
They got Newcastle. When have they got Newcastle?
Newcastle away. So they've got Southampton, Man City, then Newcastle away.
Okay.
What's your spreadsheet?
And sorry, sorry. They also have a West Ham away.
What's your spreadsheet, sir?
Yeah?
Yeah, something similar. I just didn't.
And then
where's Newcastle?
Okay, Newcastle's in my head.
It's my secret. 3 days he took. 3 days, and he's left out Newcastle away.
Yeah. So what's the date of Newcastle?
I haven't got the date, but
just put it in whenever you want.
Yeah.
Manchester City's run, Spurs at home, Liverpool away, Forest at home, Palace away, Liverpool at home, Manchester derby. Sorry, Manchester United at home, Manchester derby, Aston Villa away, Everton at home. Again, a few, you're starting to see them now getting those.
They've also got Leicester away,
getting those top 6. This is up to Christmas, right?
What I'm doing till the end of the year.
I've done it up till up till the end of the year, but I haven't included that game on the first of the.
Well,
some tough games in there.
Yeah, I mean, Leicester game's on the 29th.
Yeah, the team that's got a very favourable run coming up is Chelsea. They've got Leicester away, Villa at home, Southampton away, Spurs at home, Brentford at home, Everton away.
Spurs away there.
Is it away?
Yeah.
I've got it as at home.
No.
And
it's away.
Fulham at home.
God, I'll tell you what, for 2 blokes that have done their research, ain't done a very good job.
No, I've got the same.
Where's your research?
Yeah.
I know that they got Chelsea away.
Because you read on this.
So,
I knew that anyway.
And they got Ipswich away.
So, just going back to Arsenal. Listen, we know that in the Premier League there's no easy games, right? But that's quite a favourable run now, isn't it?
We haven't even got to go outside London.
Well, apart from when we go to Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, well, I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at
but we still have to come back.
Yeah,
which is
in comparison. Which is in comparison.
We're talking about the Premier League, though.
Yeah,
we're talking about the Premier League. But
that is a good point, Lee, because when you even look at the last run that we just had, had to go away to Preston, away to Newcastle, away to Milan, away to Chelsea. There's a lot of what we barely played a home game, have we? So, but when you look at Arsenal's run, Forest, West Ham, United with a new manager now, they might be a lot better than they've been. Fulham, Everton, Palace, Ipswich. That's favourable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's favourable.
And you've got to win every one of them.
Well, you don't have to win every one.
No, you don't have to, Julian, but when you've got teams like that, you have to get the points on the board. You can't afford to drop points. If you want to win the league, you cannot afford to drop points against teams like that. That is what I'm saying. We've done it last year and it cost us. We've got to win those games. By the way, Fulham away, not going to be easy with the Arsenal boys here now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be a tough
Nelson won't be able to play, but obviously
oh yeah,
Smith
Reece
Rowe.
Nelson won't be able to play. That's true. But Smith Rowe will not. He'll be liking to do something in that game. So
they beat us last year.
Palace is a tough game. I don't care what anybody says. We should go there and win. But
Palace,
it's tough.
It might have a new manager by then. But if you look on it though, right? Just look at it like this. So if we even go by last year, Forest we beat. West Ham we beat. That was a 6-0, wasn't it?
Oh, that's a tough one again. Right? Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, we beat them 6-0 last year.
I mean, if you look down there, the only one is Fulham away.
1 second, we beat Manchester United, right? Lost to Fulham. We beat Everton at home. We beat Palace away, and obviously Ipswich is a new team, but they're near the bottom. You would expect to it. Out of that run, even if you went and just said, right, let's just have what we had last year, that could be 6 wins. That's even if they replicated that would represent a good run.
That is good enough to start making up the difference on Liverpool from what I predicted Liverpool would do.
Then you look as we know, your predictions last season were a load of crap.
They weren't crap at all. They were not crap.
So what are you predicting now then?
No, I predict that Liverpool.
What are you predicting for Art? What are you predicting for Art?
Let's go.
I'm predicting 7 wins. That's what I'm.
7 wins is hard.
But that's what I'm predicting.
It could be. Would you take 6 wins and a draw? 6 wins and a draw. I'd take that.
I'd take that, and that's exactly what I've predicted.
I'd take 6 wins and a draw.
I mean, I don't think you appreciate over the last few seasons.
I'd take a lot of wins and a loss,
and it's something that I applaud, that the Premier League has become a lot more competitive. That there's not so much. There's not so much fodder.
You've put in there. I'll tell you what. Like, anywhere we're going to drop points, right? You would look at it on the away games, and you've got every one of we're going to win away from home, which is a lot harder than at home.
Not a lot harder compared to the opposition.
I think
for the one that I predicted.
What you predict? I'm predicting 7 wins, and you're predicting 6.
I predicted 6, and the one we'll drop points on is.
Wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. Wait for it.
Is Manchester United at home?
On the reasons,
and the reasons being is that I think they're improving. I think they're a good team. They've got a good squad, and the manager that's coming in is a fantastic manager with a great track record. And also this new manager bounce thing, statistically, it happens. I think they'll come and give us a very close game, and it could well be a draw. Yeah,
I think the game where we could drop points is that Fulham away. I've watched Fulham play a few times this season.
Very good side.
And they play some good stuff. They're a good side. And if we go into that game and we're not on it, right, United, we've got a good record against them at home. It will be a tough game. Remember, even last year, it was a tight game.
Always tough games.
It was a tight game. It was 3-1. But, we remember they got that disallowed goal from Garnacho.
We've dropped 2 games already at home. You can't afford to drop many more.
Let's just look at Liverpool, right? So Liverpool, away at Southampton, you'd expect them to do the business there.
Well, they've got 16 away on international duty, Liverpool, which I think has a bearing on the game where it comes back. It is Southampton away.
What you got then?
I've actually
listen. If it was us, you'd been expecting us to.
I've actually got it down as 3 points, but I think it will have a bearing on that. The fact that they've got so many away on international duty, and Southampton have only got 7. But I've still put it down as a Liverpool win. But I think it'd be tighter than we think.
If Southampton,
not an easy place to go. We find it hard here every year.
If Southampton had nobody, it may be a bogey thing for us. It ain't for them.
No.
They normally go there and smash Southampton. I expect them to do that as well.
I agree.
A confident Liverpool. It gets trickier now though for them.
They've got Real Madrid. I think you have to bring that into. But
it is at home, and I also would think with the fact that they're so far clear.
Real Madrid need to win that.
Real Madrid
do, but Liverpool can afford, with the current UCL format, Liverpool can afford to lose that game and still get in the top 8 the way they've started.
But they then got Manchester City at home.
Yeah,
and
which I think will be a draw.
That'll be a tough game, and that's a game that...
Is that you think or you hoping?
What do you mean? That's what I predicted. I've predicted a draw. Man City, Liverpool.
I mean, that could quite easily be a draw, Lee. I mean, if you look
I'm
at...
not arguing with that.
Yeah. I look at, like, for instance, I
think Liverpool beat them.
They could beat them, definitely. Because I don't think City are playing well at the moment. But if you look at... Who
have City got in Champions
League? Hold on. Wait.
That's a good point. City.
That's a tricky game, and then they've got to go away to Newcastle. That's never easy. Lee, I'm just saying with the Liverpool, they've got to go away to Newcastle,
They got Feyenoord at home.
After that, that's a tough game. They then got go away to Goodison Park. Now,
Never easy.
Yeah.
Everton beat them last year. That won't be an easy game. It's a Merseyside derby. We know derby games.
For us a draw there.
Yeah.
And it's a Saturday 12:30 kickoff. And Klopp used to always complain about those.
Yeah.
What
Fulham
have
at
you got
home.
down to that?
I've got it down as an Everton win.
Everton win.
Yeah.
I don't know about a win.
Draw.
There's a potential for a draw in there.
Potential, yeah.
They got Fulham at home. I'd expect them to win that. They then got to go away to Spurs. That won't be easy. No, because Spurs...
You just don't know what you're going to get with Spurs.
You don't know what you're going to get. Like,
Listen, they might be cheering on Liverpool from all that. Their fans might be wearing red skirt. You don't know with that game.
But they seem to play. They seem to play better.
Spurs lose another couple of games.
They seem to play better when they play the better teams.
They'll be going to the game singing "Ferry Across the Mersey," you know what I mean?
And they got West Ham away, which I'd expect them to win. Manchester City, these are their games. Spurs at home, been a real bogey team for City.
Got that down as a home win.
Won't be an easy game. I don't think that's a given. Then they got to follow that up by going to Liverpool. So those are two straight after international.
That's tough.
Straight after international break, those are two tough games for Man City.
But if you look at the international break thing again, Tottenham at home, Man City, because of their injuries, have only got 10 on international duty, where Spurs have actually got 18. So I really think Spurs are going to lose that.
18 Spurs. 18.
A lot of them
How many of the Spurs' players are real? Like, you know, they're like
18.
That's what it said on. I got that off the Spurs website.
Jeez, I mean, they've lied to you.
Well, quite a few of them are under 21 on the under 21, but they're still 18.
They're still away. Yeah,
they're still away.
I don't think that's
still takes away from the squad.
I mean, all right, Son might go on the international. Chance for Van der Ven maybe to come back. They'll have, you know, I don't think that's going to be much of a factor.
What are you going for that one? If you got
those first two games for City are tough. I don't know what to say on them. It could go any way because, as I said, even though Spurs are at home, they're a bogey team for City.
So that's it. So we play on the 3 o'clock, don't we? Right. Say if Arsenal have beaten Forest.
Yeah.
Right. We've beaten Forest that day. Who are we cheering on?
For Tottenham. Well, we're cheering on Tottenham.
What?
Well, we're not cheering on Tottenham, but we're
just so you
actually want Tottenham to get a result. That game.
I think you look at it.
What you're doing, you're hoping Man City lose, and it just so happens you block out your mind who the opposition is.
To me, in that game, you're looking at it thinking, you know, as long as City don't win it.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's how I look at it.
I'm with you.
But then after that, as I said, the week after that, they've got to go Liverpool away. That's a two tough games.
And we do want to draw there, don't we?
Yeah.
Then they follow that up with Forest at home, right? Which, as we know, it's not going to be an easy game. They've got to go away to Palace. You'd expect them to win that. But then they're at home against Manchester United. Now, again...
And they've been playing away at Juventus. In the week.
Manchester United at home, Manchester derby...
New manager.
Won't be an easy game, right? And then they've got to go away to Villa. Remember last year, that's where they lost at Villa last year. I know Villa are not playing as well recently, but they lost at Villa last year. Then they got they're at home against Everton. You'd expect them to win that. The team that I think has got the easiest run from now till Christmas, you could see them really, you know, fly up the table, is Chelsea. Leicester away, I think they'll win that. Villa at home, I think they'll win that. Southampton away, they'd expect to win that. Spurs at home will be a tough one for them. Away, that'll be a tough game. Brentford at home, I'd expect them to win that. I'd expect them to beat Everton away, and I'd expect them to beat Fulham at home. Chelsea could be big beneficiaries by the end of this run. But definitely, the next set of games coming up until the end of the year...
Not according to Julian. Julian's learning they're dropping a lot of points in those games.
Well, I'd say they drop points against Villa at home. I think Villa are still a very good team.
At home?
Yeah, I think they'll drop points against Tottenham away.
Possibly. That's a tough one.
They're off to one of my favourite places that I've never been, Kazakhstan.
That's not
play Astana, but I still think because they'll play a shadow team
they're playing a completely different team.
Yeah, they'll play a completely different team, but still the management has to go. So they don't have as much. They don't have as much time to work with the first team. So I still think it has an effect.
You get that from?
But it's true. You can't.
A lot of times the manager ain't. You think the manager's out on the pitch, the training ground every day working with the team.
But surely the backroom staff will all go to that wonderful team Astana playing the Kazakhstan league. So
that's not going to be a factor, Julian.
Oh, well, I think it could be a slight factor, maybe 2%.
I don't.
But I still think they'll beat Brentford. I think they'll drop points at Everton.
Why?
Because I think Everton have started hitting a bit of form. And it's still a difficult place to go. Even
Chelsea
when,
are a much better team than Everton.
Even when Everton are really poor, it's always difficult. I mean, even last season,
unpredictable, but you'd expect them to win.
Still expect them to nick it.
No, I think they're predictable. Everton. It's always difficult. I don't remember going to Everton for a long, long time and absolutely smashing them. I mean, even last season when they were so poor and we were so good, we still only beat them 1-0.
I agree. It's always a difficult place to go, but I just think
they'll win that.
They just get over the line in that game. I know what you're saying, but that's a good point. Goodison's never easy. I agree with you. I totally agree.
Especially last season there, it's
got to look at their run, right? And if you're being honest, they've got the easiest run out of everybody.
So they could probably pick up 7 wins out of 7 now.
They could if they. And I'm watching them against us. They're a good side.
Yeah,
I thought they're a decent side. They've got a good team. They've got a good squad.
Very good squad,
right? So Chelsea could be big winners of the next. You're going on the next period. Arsenal got a chance to make up ground. When you look at their run in comparison to Liverpool and Manchester City.
And Chelsea could be thinking that.
And Chelsea can make up ground as well. If Liverpool have, do what they've been doing so far this season, then they're in the complete driving seat. But there's the potential in that Liverpool run to drop points. Man City at home, Newcastle away, Everton away, Merseyside derby, and Spurs away. Those are 4 very tough games out of that 7.
When we played
we've
Spurs,
been having, by the way.
We beat Spurs. It's still a tough game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was a tough game. Liverpool going to have to go there.
We only beat them 1-0 from a set piece.
Yeah, Liverpool going to have to go there. And the thing is, there's a couple of teams in there that they got. You just don't know. I don't really know how Aston Villa are going to turn up at the moment. I think they're a really good side. Spurs are the same. You just don't know what Spurs is going to turn up. If the proper Spurs turns up, that's a difficult game for Liverpool. And they lost there last year.
Yeah.
Controversially.
And that's why I don't think my predictions are rubbish at all.
I never said they were.
You did. You said it was rubbish from last season's.
And you completely got them wrong.
No, I didn't.
Do you remember his predictions last season?
I didn't completely get it wrong.
Got wrong on the first one.
All right, the first one I predicted a draw. It was as a win. But all I do is I look at the actual facts and then try and predict how it's going to turn out. But as you both said quite correctly, is in football, and this is one of the reasons we love football so much. It's impossible to predict exactly.
Of course it is.
Because we'll be looking. That's the other thing.
Could have injuries and sending off.
I forgot. Sorry, I should have got that guy's name yesterday because we did have a long talk. But that was one of the things I was saying. I go, why you can never say it's done, right? Because you can look at a season and you can say to yourself, all right, we can look at our games that we've got coming up and we should win that. But that can change with things.
In a second of sending off a penalty.
Injuries. The Bournemouth game, when we went down to 10 minutes, I'm like, oh my days.
Yeah. If you look at Arsenal when they've won the league, though, Rob, over the years, there has been a period where they've gone on long runs. 10
You've got to go on a run.
And we can still do that.
You've got to do. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If you are to win the league, you have to go on a run.
Last year, the 2 teams that ultimately were competing for it and City won it. The reason why is because they both went on unbelievable runs.
Unbelievable run. And Liverpool didn't really
City weren't that great up until like December. Then they went on an unbelievable run from then till the end of the year, which they didn't lose a game. Arsenal went on a run from January till the end of the season when they lost 1 game. So
didn't if I remember rightly, correct me if I'm wrong, Man City lost about 3 games on the spin, and then they never lost a game to the end. Yeah, they won every game. They only dropped points against
us. I remember it was against Villa. I remember they lost against Villa,
Newcastle,
and us. I think I don't remember the 3rd game. It might have been in one of the cups.
I think they lost might have lost to Newcastle in the cup. They lost the 3 games, and then it was in about December time, and then they only dropped 2 points from that moment on, which was against us.
And it's how you finish the season. And I think what it is, right, with Arsenal now, what's going to be really important for this run is fitness. I mean, Ben White is out.
Yeah, what do you make of that?
10 to 12 weeks.
A lot of criticism's coming for that because he's been playing him. Do you go along with that, or do you?
Well, the fact is, right, they said they've been playing him since last season, and I don't know, because he was brilliant last season. This season, they've been playing him, but not all the time, innit?
No.
They've been using him. Remember, there was that game a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, well, you was having a go. You was saying, why didn't you start him? Why's Ben White come on if you're gonna? And I said, maybe they didn't really want to play him.
That was against City, wasn't it?
Yeah. So now we see why,
Yeah, is it a good fit?
Now,
if he's not 100%, we've got players that are 100% fit and they're not playing him.
Yeah, but look at that.
I know footballers are not 100% fit. It's very difficult to
look at that position though. Like, you can't. At the end of it, he's had to have an operation. So there's got to be. He must have been playing in a lot of pain, or whatever. And
I imagine that he's
showed, innit? Yeah. He's not been the Ben White so far this season.
Look at what Neto did to him on Sunday.
Yeah, he's not had the pace.
I've not seen a player do that to him ever, I don't think.
I feel like, and then can Tomiyasu come back?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to do. Try to get him through to this, and hopefully Calafiori will be back now. I mean, Timber goes to right back, or Tomiyasu's back.
It's
Has there been any update
Arsenal
on those two?
Well, they're supposed to be back after.
Calafiori might be back after the international break, they said.
Yeah, at which point it makes sense to put him under the knife now. Got a
2
couple of
weeks.
weeks. You've got the other players coming back, and it has to be done at some point. And you can see he's not playing at his best because of that injury. But the other thing from a surgical point of view is you don't want to operate unless you have to. Yeah, because once you've operated, that is at least 8 weeks out.
There must be a little tear in the cartilage. I would imagine something like that, because you can play through it, but eventually you've got to have it done. There's no.
We need players fit, right? Because again, which has been a little bit of a factor, has been the amount of injuries we've had. I mean, we're bringing a new sign in. He breaks his shoulder. He's only had a few games. We've had key players like Odegaard out. We need these guys fit now. You saw the difference that Odegaard made. I'm glad he hasn't gone on international duty. We need a fit Odegaard for these games coming up. We need a fit Saka. We need a fit, like the majority of that squad, the key players. We need those guys.
Yeah, Martinelli wasn't going, but he's now gone, because Rodrigo's
injured.
He got injured and he's got called up. Where that's how it goes.
Yeah. So if we can hit our strides between now and the end of this year, we may be talking a lot differently at the end of the year.
You got. Listen, I think. We've all been accused that I can't believe some look like, I've been bought out by the club and everything like that. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just going to go and pick up my new merch today, like, you know what I mean? But like, as a fan, you have to stay positive, you know what I mean, and believe in this team. And that's what I'm doing. I'm seeing what's going to be like. Listen, if we're 9 points off at the end of Christmas, we ain't winning it. We probably know that, But at the moment, we've got.
You're quite right, probably, but it doesn't mean you write it off at that point. I talked on Sunday about the '98 season when we were 12 points behind, and the bookie Fred Dunn paid out on Man United, and Arsenal went on to win the league.
Why are fans now so? Because not even just younger fans, it's all fans. Because even fans who had that experience of your 98s and Invincible seasons and all that are so defeated sometimes. You lose a game, done, mate. That's it, over.
Well, in my view, the reason is it isn't. It's just that those kind of fans are normally louder. And when you criticise and you shout,
no, it's a lot of people, Julian. It's a lot of people.
Well, I'm not like that. And a lot of people that I speak to aren't like that.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people that, And
it's easy also to say that, isn't it? Like,
and it's trendy, isn't it, to be angry?
At the end of the day, you can turn around and say, right, Arsenal ain't going to win the league this season. Like, you know what I mean? That's, that means that you're basically saying there's another 19 teams that can. I'm not saying you get, but the chances are you might be proven right. You know what I mean? If for four teams going for it, you've got a 1 in 4 chance. But I think at the end of it, I think that because of what's happened with Man City over the years, I get why they think, you can't afford
because
to be
you've got to be nearly perfect.
You've got to be nearly perfect. I get that. Like when we was going back to those days, I remember we was probably lost about 6 games in that 98 season going into, and then we went on a mad run in January. So, we've been there, we know what it's like, but we've also been there when we've pushed for the title and not got it.
Yeah.
So what it is. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, and this is what I don't really understand with Arsenal fans, is that I walked away from Fulham last season. That's it, it's done. Never, and we produced a madness. The team produced a madness.
And you were angry. And I
was angry that day.
And you were being very critical of Ty myself for our attitude.
And I did. And at the end of the day, I was proven right because we didn't win the league.
No, but you're being rude.
But I was being rude, but you didn't want to put your balls on the chopping line, did you? I said it was a funny thing.
Well, I might not have been, but there was someone else that was with us was prepared to do it.
It's a really funny thing. I said, right, because they were going to me like, we can still win. I said, right, get your balls out now on the chopping block.
Ty was going.
So there was about 4 games left, weren't there, to the season, and he's going, get your chopping board out. He's got to get your chopping board. He remembered it
of course he did, because you were so rude.
So but at the end of the day, Arsenal went on a madness that time, and I do think that the team is capable of doing that now because of what happened last season. So we are a good team. We're a very, very good team, and I think we forget about that, that we are, and things have not gone right for us with injuries and whatever and all that, And for me, I'm not giving up yet. But if I'm a betting man, let's get them on the I'm not putting them on the chopping block, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I get that. Listen, if I'm a betting man, I'll be betting on Liverpool right now because they're 9 points.
I'm still betting on City.
Right? I'll be betting on Liverpool right now. You know what? It was City. I don't know, man. There's something's not right there, man. It's not the City of last season. I don't think. Even I was chatting to Big Steve the other day. And even he was like, he wasn't very optimistic. He was like, he said to me, he goes, we've been getting away with it, Robbie. He goes, against Southampton, we were rubbish. He goes, they're 1-0 winner.
They've been rubbish.
He goes, that Wolves game.
We've been getting away with it as well.
Yeah, and again, there's fact. And even Liverpool have got away with it. That game against Brighton, when Brighton should have been out of sight in the first half.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? A Villa, even at the weekend, missed a couple of easy chances, right? And then capitulated, you know what I mean? So nobody's really, I feel, Liverpool have done brilliantly so far, right? With a new manager and stuff like that. But nobody's really steamrolling teams yet. Nobody.
They're 9 points in front at Christmas, Liverpool.
It's going to be hard, but I'm not going to write it off.
That's it.
No, not that's it. They'll be obviously the favourites as far as I'm concerned. But what's the point of going to football if you don't believe you're going to win?
No, I agree. Yeah? I think you've got to believe.
So
they're the favourites in my books right now. I'm not City.
My biggest worry with Arsenal at the moment is I don't see the form. Even like when I look back at the, we
didn't see the form last season.
The Leicester and Southampton games. I did like going into that run that we were talking about. We were beating teams 5-0, 6-0, and you think, wow, this is unbelievable. We was actually going to games thinking like, we're going to get over form. Do you remember we was disappointed coming away?
Disappointed
that we didn't get 6.
It was Sheffield United because I'd missed the West Ham game, and I really wanted to see 7 to be there when the record was made.
So they've got to get on that full. But I agree. Arsenal are capable of doing it. They are capable. I don't think Odegaard is a big factor.
We need to blow away a team in Italy.
Yeah. I do think we need a confidence boost.
We need a confidence boost. Like we need to go and blow away a team where people think, hey,
and that could be Forest in the first home game after the international break,
or West Ham. Why you don't know?
Need to blow away a team. Need to blow away a team. Get that confidence going. You know what I mean?
Because my confidence has been knocked.
The confidence is definitely.
I don't know about you as a fan. Every game, we went to Man City away. Let's be honest. We was going up in the car and that. None of us thought we was going to lose that game. Let's be honest. Yeah. We was like, saying that we get a draw at least, and we come on. I go to games now. This may think, I don't know. Yeah. Because I think the confidence has been knocked just because of the performances.
Yeah, but I don't remember any of us going to Newcastle and thinking we were going to lose. I think we thought we might not win.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
What
did you say at half time?
Oh yeah, half time. So I'd already seen what was going on.
It was still 45 minutes, and you're Mr. Positive.
Yeah, I am. But I'd seen how. In fact, I said what I said after the first few minutes of the second half that it hadn't changed. I didn't say at half time. I said it after a few minutes of the second
Funny
half,
enough.
when things hadn't changed.
Funny enough, I just said we've got to blow away our team. We've got to win a game.
Yeah,
We haven't won a game for a while.
Do you know what? You made a great
always
point. I think it was
draws.
last week you made the point, we was all expecting us to go and beat Norwich. Do you remember that night?
Yeah.
And we were beaten 1-0 and
we were all elated.
We was like, and people were having a go, but it was the start, you know what I mean? I think it is of just getting a win, just beat Forest.
Beat Forest, but
it would be lovely to beat them convincingly.
Get on a run, get players back into form, get
Yeah.
players firing, and we can get back on track. I mean, obviously, this next period after this international break is going to be really important.
2 important cup games as well, by the way, in that because we've got to beat. Well, I say have we got to beat Sporting. I don't really know like this. We've got.
It would help to get in that top 8.
Yeah,
we don't want those extra points.
Yeah, and we've got the Crystal Palace, which I hate that, by the way.
What?
We've got Crystal Palace on the Wednesday and then Crystal Palace on the Saturday because of the cup, how it works. It always happens every now and then. That's good. So it makes that game a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, one at home, and winning that game into the semi-finals of the
and that's
Carabao
that's
Cup.
exciting. That could be a trip to Wembley.
Right, so
Man, they've won it for a while.
No,
it's a two-legged semi-final, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, but that's exciting.
Yeah. So, are you optimistic? After looking at what's ahead, anybody optimistic that we can close the gap?
I'm not convinced that Arsenal can win the league this year because of the form.
But the question was, do you think we'll close the gap before the end of the year?
I do think that because I do think Arsenal.
So that means you're optimistic. Good.
I think Arsenal will win their next 7 games. I do.
If we win the next 7 games, it's well and truly back on.
Yeah, and then do you think Liverpool will win their next 7?
No,
I don't think they
Okay,
will.
so then you're optimistic. Good.
I don't think we'll win our next 7 though.
I don't think so either.
well, there won't be much of it. There'll still be a big gap then, won't there?
I think
No, because it depends what Liverpool
I
do.
think we could win 6. I don't know. There's a slip up in there somewhere.
There's usually a slip.
There
How
could
many,
even be couple draws.
how many points are you predicting Liverpool will drop in the next? So you don't, off the top of your
I
head.
don't do things off the top of my head. Hold on.
Don't do it, neither.
What was the
I
question?
must say,
How many points do you
these
think
predictions
Liverpool
on
gonna
Liverpool are pretty biased, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you got them dropping points to teams that then we play the same team and you ain't got us dropping the points to them. Why? When they're on more form than us.
Which team is that?
Huh?
No, he's got Man United, I think.
Yeah, I got Man United. I think we'll drop points to Man United. I think.
No, what of Liverpool?
All right, Liverpool.
Come on.
Liverpool, Southampton.
Right.
You said that you said
Liverpool. I think they'll beat Southampton. I think
City at home.
I think City at home. They'll draw. I think they'll lose at Everton. That's where I see them dropping points.
But then you've got us beating Everton.
Yes. And there's a reason for that.
All right, it's a Merseyside derby, all right. So it's just those two you got Liverpool losing.
There's 2
They're
big
away to Liverpool, aren't they?
Well, they're at
They're at Goodison.
So at Goodison, 12:30 kickoff, which for some reason Liverpool historically
So
have never
you're
liked.
saying they're going to drop against.
I think they'll drop against Everton.
So how many points are you saying then?
I think they'll
3,
drop 3, 5,
7 points.
Yeah, and Tottenham away. I'd say 7
7
points.
points, and we're dropping what you're saying 2.
2. So I think we'll make up 5 points on them.
All right.
So it'd be 4 points by Christmas.
Yeah. Which is
Well, that's doable.
yeah, that's what I think.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Would you
We'll
take
see.
that? Would you take that, Robbie? 4 points behind them.
Of course.
Yeah.
4 points behind, of course. 4 points behind a team you're breathing down their neck when you're starting to go further in.
And then we still got to play them at Anfield with your victory there.
You're getting really optimistic.
No, it's
Let's do Everton, but Arsenal go out there and win.
no, we'll win it. Look, I haven't seen Arsenal win at Liverpool for a long time.
It's been a while now, hasn't it?
It's been a long time.
Been a long
And
time.
it's
They're the
it's
favourites.
due.
They're the favourites. For me, they're the favourites, man. But let's see how it's all going to pan out. We'll be back in action.
I
with those
will
games
say, though,
next
if-
weekend.
Because we felt this as well. If you have got that big lead and it does start to, it will put pressure on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will. It will. Let's see how they can cope. And Liverpool have not really had any, apart from Alisson, really, no major injuries.
That's Alison Becker, is it?
Alisson Becker.
Yes.
Apart from him, though, no injuries to like real key players.
Yeah.
What if a Van Dijk or a Salah was out for a little
Yeah.
bit? Could that?
Yeah.
A
They haven't had any
Gravenberch.
sending offs.
You know, let's see.
Well, they won't get sending off now. Like, all the rest.
Liverpool all right.
Liverpool having it. You know what I mean?
Liverpool going to get every decision now.
Like,
every decision. I'm telling you,
going Liverpool's way. Like, we don't want to think this. We're not glad.
Liverpool will not get a red card between now and the end of the season. I'm telling you that.
VAR will be taking it all off and everything. Like, you know what I mean, I guarantee it. Like, you know.
Anyway, listen, we've reached the end of the show today. Once again, I want to thank NordVPN for sponsoring the show. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link in the description to get that very special offer that they've got right now. It's a really, really great app to have. Thanks, Julian. Thanks to you, Lee, as well. We'll be back next week. You know, he's got more spreadsheets to work on.
Well, it depends what the agenda is for next week.
Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next week. Hey, Sierra Leone, get ready for the biggest football fan party in the history of Africa. AFTV are coming to Sierra Leone this Christmas.
We're going to Sierra Leone?
Yo, bro, we're going.
Bro, after the last one, that was amazing. So what? Now we get to go to Sierra Leone?
Yep.
People, you do not want to miss it. The 21st of December, we'll be hosting a watch party for the Crystal Palace versus Arsenal game in Freetown. It's a ticket you must get hold of.
Not only that, we're going to be touching down there on the 18th of December. We're going to be checking out Sierra Leone, doing youth football tournaments, checking out the sites. Trust me, this is going to be epic.
So if you don't want to miss it, if you want to get your chance to have your say on AFTV and be immersed in what we get to do, make sure you're there. We'll see you soon, Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone, we're coming!